Guys, welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. We are here, Super Bowl 60 taking place, Seahawks versus the Patriots. I don't even know why we're playing this game. Apparently, the Super Bowl happened 2 weeks ago with the Seahawks and Rams, but they're going to just do the coin toss, do all the formalities so the Seahawks can go and win this game by over 4.5, right? Right, Darnell? That's pretty much what we're going to see here.
I mean, that's what we've been hearing, man. I guess that's just basically what we gonna see on Sunday, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we wouldn't. The Seahawks, because everyone's believed in them all year, to the point where everyone had them going to the Super Bowl for the playoffs. No one did actually, except for your bro. Um, by the way, I got insulted. I was watching a show yesterday, and they said that first things first, shout out and Kevin Wilde's my guy, but they said he was the only one who had the Patriots going to the bowl. Y'all gotta watch Lumia Sports, man.
Not
This is
even
my victory
close.
lap. I'm doing the victory lap. I got both the teams right. Um, you know what I mean? I got mocked because it was like when the game was about to happen, Rams Seahawks, everyone was like, you could have had both right. That's what DJ Sweetlou told me. He was wrong, but he's been wrong all postseason. So shout out DJ Sweetlou and Tony L.
Shout out
Tigre
to
couldn't
Lou,
make
man.
it. Huh?
Shout out to LT Gray too.
Yeah,
Shout
man.
out to the homies.
Yep. Shout out to the homies. Couldn't make it today. I know who Tony's picking, but Darnell, I want to start with you. In this
Hmm.
game, you have the Seahawks coming in. They just beat the Rams 31-27. Been one of the best teams all year. I think they're number one or two in points allowed throughout the entire regular season. JSN, Jackson Smith, you know. Drewski said it for us last night. JSN,
Yes, it
though,
did.
he offensive player of the year. That was crazy. That was
Yeah, it
wild.
was.
Um, he's banned. But anyway, um, but you got one shot. Offensive Player of the Year, Pro Bowler Sam Darnold taking on runner-up Drake May for MVP. We're gonna get into all the NFL honor stuff. Just happened last night, as
Hmm.
we're recording this for you guys. But Darnell Jones, Seahawks favored by 4.5. You did have the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. So who do you have in the big game?
Yeah, so this is bittersweet for me because I have a rooting interest on both sides. Being seeing as I am the resident Ohio State fan, I have my guy JSN and my guy Travion Henderson. So, and then I have my guy Mike Vrabel, another former Ohio State Buckeye, but I digress. So I win either way. You know what I mean? I get to see my guys win a Super Bowl, so I don't lose by whoever wins. But to pick a winner on Sunday in Super Bowl 60, after picking, actually, I'd say about November, I was leaning Rams, Patriots in the Super Bowl. I might even said it around Thanksgiving. Obviously, we had a great game last couple weeks ago. Seahawks, Rams. Seahawks are the victor. With that being said, I'm going to go with Seattle in the Super Bowl. I'm going to go with Sam Darnold. I'm going to go with the veteran, JSN. I mean, I think they're just playing at a level offensively, especially that the Patriots aren't currently. Not that the Patriots can't play at that level because we have seen that, especially towards the end of the regular season. But in this postseason specifically, we haven't really seen a lot of offense from them. Not that they've needed it, obviously, but I just think against a team like this that has a defense on par with what you're doing defensively, you're going to have to score some points. And right now, I think Seattle has that edge.
Nell taking the Seahawks -4.5. That's a big spread. It's a big spread.
It is. It is.
For because we haven't mentioned this, we have actual standings. So for those who is your first time
Mm-hmm.
joining who don't know, welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. And it's normally we have four people doing it. It's me, Darnell Jones, DJ Sweet Lou, and Tony L. Tigre. We've been picking the games all postseason. Last week was just actually a mess for Darnell, to be honest with you. He rarely first real bad preview week format. I mean, the Patriots Broncos spread really has messed up everyone to some degree.
It
Um,
did.
However, Tony L. Tigre sits at 7-5. I am at 7-5. Thanks, Patriots, for not covering. Darnell is 6-6, and Lou is
Mhm.
5-7 just because he picked the Broncos with no rhyme or reason. He literally said he had no reason. But
Yeah.
he climbed back a little bit. It was getting real scary. Tony Altigre is also taking the Seahawks. I mean, I know why this is tough for you, Darnell. You didn't even mention Steph Curry, which is interesting. Um,
Yeah.
as, as to one of your reasons why it's so painful for you to pick the Seahawks. You've been a big Drake May guy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? One of the biggest Drake May guys on this podcast, probably the biggest. Once you made that
I'll probably say that. Yeah.
yeah. Once you made that take public and it left the group chat, which I do have to repeat it. He did say the Drake May, Steph Curry. You became the Drake May guy, but you're picking against him in this game.
Yes, I am. I'm picking against Drake May because it's not about the take. It's never about the take,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about what you see that's going to happen on the field. And I don't really care about a former take that I've had to be right, more so
Yeah.
than what am I seeing on the field? What do I think is going to happen? So I'm always going to be that guy. And the whole Drake May Steph Curry comparison spawned off of DJ Sweet Lou's
Yeah.
Josh Allen is LeBron James take. So
Yeah.
that's there you go.
Yeah. I mean, but he brings it up every time anything comes up with the Bills. He's like, see, this is 2018, Ron. We're like, he didn't make the Super Bowl. That's
Yeah.
disrespect. It is disrespectful to Ron at this point. Um, Also, I had a really good point I was gonna make. Dang it. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, as viewers, Darnell hates doing these. He doesn't like doing previews. I feel like you guys
I
should
don't. I
should
don't.
know that he hates predictions. He hates his name being on the predictions. So Super Bowl week to have it where it's just me and Nell doing this is hilarious because all
Yeah.
regular season, me and Tony El Tigre would be doing the previews, and Nell would be like, "I don't do previews. I don't want to have to pick a team that I don't really like and then get mocked for those. By the way, I don't know if you noticed in the group chat, but Tony El Tigre started getting real boisterous about his picks toward the end of the year. I'm like, bro, you were awful you were trash at the beginning of the year. Then we restarted it, and you saw the chest pounding, right? Like you saw all that.
Of course.
Like, and
Yeah.
that, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, you're not like that, Tony. Tony though is also taking the Seahawks. I think DJ Sweetlou said he was taking the Patriots, but he could be trolling. He is a well-known troll. And when the lights get bright, you never know which way he's gonna go with the pick,
This
unless
is
Josh
true.
Allen's on the field. That's his boo. I so it's time, right? It's time for me to make the pick.
Yes, it is.
I'm
So
going
I'm
with the
gonna ask you.
Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots.
Mm,
This is a feel thing. This is a vibe thing. This whole season has
exactly.
been weird. And I'm not even going to sit here and say Patriots are the better team than the Seahawks. Don't think that. However, the reason I don't think that is I think that the biggest difference with Seattle is their weapons on offense, right? And their O line. I don't
Hmm.
think their O line is great, but my God, I mean, Will Campbell and his alligator arms, he can't block anything. So
Yeah.
the Seahawks weapons, obviously, you have the offensive player of the year. Cooper Cup, you can argue. I mean, he's not quite Stefon Diggs level right now, but still as a veteran
Yeah.
presence, he can get open. He can just break the game open just as good as Booty. Just break the game. Probably that's a little disrespectful to Shaheed because he's a punt returner, kick returner, right? So better than that. And Booty's a better receiving option. I mean, the Patriots hate giving the ball to Travion Henderson. They just hate it. They despise it. Like, oh, Travion, why would we do that when we can get Stevenson up the middle for 3 yards? Why would we try to get this 50-yard touchdown? They did it for a couple weeks. It worked. And they said, we're going to go back to the playoffs. We're going to go back to Stevenson. It's been driving me crazy all offs.
What
And
else? What I think, I
uh,
think that's about. I think sometimes Travion Henderson's too fast. Like as running back, sometimes you have to have patience. You have to let your blocks develop. I think Stevenson naturally is better at that right now. now. So I think that's what that is. So a lot of those plays where he gets 3 yards, maybe Henderson gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. You know.
I agree with that, and I'm not saying, and to your point, yes, Trayvon was in the game a couple times, and he would get like for their offense has been so bad that to your
Mm-hmm.
point, they just need the 3 yards. They don't need
Yeah.
Trayvon doing what he can do, which is he can give you 30 or he can
Mm-hmm.
lose 2 yards. And he's going
Yeah.
to give you, at this point of his career, like you're saying, more of those 2 yard losses than those 30 yard
Mm-hmm.
gains. And for this offense that has been stuck in absolute
In the mud.
quicksand,
Yeah.
yeah, mud, quicksand, whatever type of black hole, whatever you want to put under the Patriots offense, they've been in that.
Yeah.
It makes sense to
Mm-hmm.
why. I mean, against the Broncos, they just ran it down the field and got a field goal, which ended up being the difference in the game. But they were like, we're not throwing the
Mm-hmm.
ball the rest of this game. Now it started snowing and everything like that. I'm taking the Patriots partially because yes, it's been a weird year. I also and yes, I think the Seahawks have better weapons. One thing that I thought was a strength of the Seahawks, and I could be definitely, and I think I am to a degree. I'm leaving it open. I could be
Mm-hmm.
over evaluating what they did against the Rams. But that defense that I have been saying is the best in the league so far this year was
Mm-hmm.
ripped to shreds against the Rams. And it's one thing when it's like, oh, Puka's just beating you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is what I felt like it was in the regular season. That they're like, it was, oh, Puka's just wide open.
Yeah.
What felt like it happened because it became two straight times, specifically in this playoff game, because Stafford put up numbers and he
Mm-hmm.
made some great throws, but he wasn't great in the big moments. However, every first down, and again, this is Sean McVay, one of the best play callers in the league, but there was stuff wide open. Now, some of the times he was hitting crazy passes. I'm not going to say Stafford wasn't hitting
Yeah.
some wild, in double coverage passes out there, but sometimes dudes would just be wide open off of a double move.
Mm-hmm.
And Seattle loves to be aggressive, to go up, to make tackles, to make hits. You wonder if the Patriots picked up anything because I don't think they need as many points as the Rams needed. They just
I
need
agree with that.
they just
I
need
would
like
agree.
one or two of those bombs. They don't need the 400 yards. The other thing with the with the Rams too, which their defense has been bad. Sam Darnold,
Mm-hmm.
and I respect it. I made a wild take that Sam Darnold could be a top 5 quarterback if he played both these games well. The reason that I made that take last week, and you can agree, disagree. I know you. I know one guy would love to be here right now. He's probably in the chat going crazy. Like you're there you go, Meats talking. I already know. And even Tony L. Tigre will strongly disagree with this. And Darnell, I mean, you probably disagree with what I'm saying. But I weighted it more on the Super Bowl because I assumed they'd be playing the Patriots and the Rams. Every defense, every quarterback that the Rams have played this postseason has cooked them, except for Caleb. Bryce Young was cooking that defense. That
Mm-hmm.
Rams defense had been bad for weeks. So
Yeah.
while yes, it's impressive that Sam Darnold did that, this Patriots defense, man, and again, I know I mean, Justin Herbert, we might have to talk about him later. This is getting, we'll talk
We
about some
will.
other things later. I want to make it fun, but I do want to stick with the Super Bowl. But Herbert, that's a whole nother
Mm-hmm.
story. But he was awful. CJ Stroud was bad, and Stidham is a backup. But their defense does things which Seattle is either going to bomb and throw touchdowns on, or Sam Darnold will be very flustered because they just blitz. They just send them at you. They get to a point in the game when they kind of realize, all right, it's happened every game this postseason. All right, Drake's not doing anything. We got to turn up the heat. When they were down 7-0 to the Broncos, they said, we just got to start blitzing every play. We don't care. All right, you bomb some. Now, they don't have JSN. The Texans were missing Nico Collins.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be really interesting. I don't think Gonzalez one-on-one is stopping JSN. I also think though the Seahawks kind of showed Clint Kubiak kind of showed his hand, didn't he? With the running back stuff, with the putting JSN and Cooper Kupp in the backfield stuff. That's now been on film for 2 weeks. I think Vrabel is so they're going to know how to adjust to that. Now, will they stop it because it's a crazy formation? I don't know, but it's not going to be like the Rams where we all were watching the game like, bro, wait, I'm watching the game like, yo, JSN is in the backfield like 40% of the time. He's in the backfield all the time. And by the way, shout out to our YouTube viewers, man. If you guys are watching on the live, we appreciate you guys joining because I know I'm going on a diatribe and I'm almost done. But here we go. Kenneth Walker, he has been great for them all postseason. I don't see that happening. Patriots are number one in stopping the run. And I want to say this because I know that I'm saying that the vibes, but I also think the Patriots defensively so far this postseason, I mean, this postseason, they're actually allowing 9 points a game. Shout out Justin Herbert. But 9 points a game is crazy.
It
So
is.
I don't think they're going to do that in the Super Bowl, but I think they can hold them to like 20. And I think the Seahawks defense is great as much as I like them. I think they took a little step back in my eyes last week. Now, could their defensive line just absolutely obliterate Drake May like we saw the Broncos do? Force some fumbles like we saw the Texans do. Very possible. And if Darnold is clean, I don't know. But I do think Darnold's going to turn the ball over a couple times. I'm seeing it happen. And again, if he doesn't, if he does not, if he plays amazing, top five, bro. But I have a feeling about this one. It's a weird feeling. And it's weird for me because I've taken just the best teams all the way through this entire time. I'm like, who's the best team? I'm picking them. But we're at the precipice. We're like at the altar. We're at the altar of my Sam Darnold top five take. I was going to do this last week. I was going to pick the Rams, and I was like, no, I'm going to stick with the Seahawks. Fun fact, I'm like, I have to stay with my Super Bowl take. But there's a saying that for a Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl winning quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
you have to close your eyes, to say their name. You have to envision them holding the trophy. Can you close your eyes and
Okay.
envision Sam Darnold holding that, John?
Yeah.
You can.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunate.
This is what I'll say. This is what I'll say.
Why
All right.
unfortunate?
Right.
You
So
hate the fact that you're picking this. I think you hate it more that I'm picking the Patriots than the fact that you have to
so
pick the
this
Seahawks.
is this is what I'll say, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors that contributed to why the Patriots looked the way they looked offensively throughout the playoffs, right? One of those factors being the weather. Super Bowl, we know the weather's not a factor. They play in a dome. Another thing that I'll say I kind of discounted in my original take was a when you scheme for one final game, right? You're gonna let it all out, right? So I think an offense where New England lets it all loose, lets it all out, I think that scares me if I'm Seattle. I think if you get the version of New England that you got against for the last couple weeks, that's a New England that you look at and say we can take those guys. But I do have a feeling offensively they're going to get back in stride. So with that being said, seeing that we do have a 4.5 point spread in favor of Seattle, I'm flipping, bro.
What are
Give me
you
the
doing?
Patriots. Give me the Patriots.
I convinced
Give me
you.
the Patriots.
I sold them.
Give me the Patriots. Give me the Patriots.
This is why I should be in. This is why I was in sales before, man. You start that you
It's not that I wasn't. I didn't have enough confidence in the Seattle pick originally in
four
the
and a half is a
first
lot of
place,
points.
and 4.5 is a lot. So even if I like originally, like I could have picked Seattle to win, but not to cover. Like
Yeah. This
so, just give me
this
the Patriots.
I always get super super nervous when
Mhm.
people are walking into a Super Bowl like, well, this is about to be a blowout. That
Yeah.
to me is insane. That to me is insane.
And you had a blowout last year, right?
But no,
That
but everyone thought the other team was sorry. Go ahead. I didn't let you
I was gonna
finish.
say, I was like, no, no, no. You had a blowout last year in the Super Bowl, but you only have that kind of performance in the Super Bowl because they've been here and lost before. That is the only way. They wouldn't have had that performance if that was all of their first time there. They would have came out blazing like that.
I
I
would
don't believe
even,
so.
I would even, well, the offense did. Jalen Hurts does explode in Super Bowls. I'm just gonna leave that there. But defensively, they didn't. To your point, defensively, they weren't ready in that first Super Bowl. They were playing Mahomes, the mystique, and again, they were playing Mahomes. But if you remember, I don't remember who was favored. I know a lot of people were picking the Chiefs, right, to three-peat. I personally, it was interesting between our fan base. I wanted the Chiefs bad. I did. I was like, I don't want to play the Bills. I want them. And I'm sure that that was followed because, again, it was a rematch in the Super Bowl, all that stuff. But no one was expecting the Eagles to just blow out the Chiefs. I think people were maybe expecting it the first time. I don't know if you remember that. People were like, all right, well, they have the most sacks in the history of the league. They have all these weapons. People were thinking the only way they wouldn't do it is if Hurts didn't show up. And I was one of those people, by the way. I was. We didn't know if he was going to be good in his first Super Bowl, and that's not
Yeah.
how the game turned out. If you remember the last blowout, big one, other than the Eagles one in the Super Bowl that I can remember, I'm trying to go back in my brain and really think, but I really think it was Seahawks Broncos. I I was younger at the time, but I was trying to tell my dad, yo, you need to gamble on this game because everyone is saying that the Broncos will win because Peyton Manning, all this stuff. That's not how these games. And I knew, and that Seahawks defense, by the way, this Seahawks defense is great. That Seahawks defense was ridiculous. And the problem with this, the difference is the corners. I mean, they don't have Richard Sherman. I don't know, you know what I mean? Or Earl Thomas
Mhm.
back there. Um, Ian Manor is good. Woolen can make plays. Witherspoon, those guys are fast. They can make plays. They can fly at the ball. But what they showed me last week is they can get torched. And that is my big issue. And to your point, like one thing that's been talked about a lot is the Patriots have had to go through weather. I think equally important, the Seahawks haven't. So it's like we're seeing their offense at their best capability against two defenses that have been bad. I know that the 49ers beat the Eagles and all that stuff, but the I mean, they're a mess right now. So whatever. They were, and then they played a team that was a real team, got smoked, and the Seahawks look great. Defensively, offensively, they look great. But the 49ers defense had been bad throughout the last part of the season. The Rams defense had been bad throughout the last part of the season. Darnold has looked chilling, surprisingly
Mhm.
chilling. And I don't want to discredit what he did against the Rams because he made huge throws in big moments, right? Third downs. They kept trusting him with a lead. They're like, throw the ball, dude. And I was caught off guard by how they played it. But can they do that again? Because I don't think Kenneth Walker, the Kenneth Walker thing is huge to me. He's not going to be able to run the ball in this team like that.
Yeah.
Possibly. He could. And if he does it, whatever. I'm not going to say he can't do it because Kenneth Walker, we're seeing him now with full reps, is ridiculous. And I even get why they don't do this with him during the season because he had injury problems earlier in his career. But we're seeing, I mean, Kenneth Walker, just the one play against the Rams where he just went to the right and just out sprinted their whole defense. Is like, all right, well,
Yeah.
okay.
He's definitely explosive. He's explosive
He's,
running back for sure.
and that's the kind of guy that can get the Patriots. But the Patriots were like first in the league and they let up 85 yards a game rushing, which
Mhm.
means that Sam Darnold has to do it. And I just fear that they used up that Clint was like, I'm about to cook. I'm about to get this head coaching job with the Raiders real quick by cooking. You know what I mean? Cooking the Rams. And he came out with some stuff that, quite frankly, I don't remember ever seeing. Can you do that again? Because I think against this Patriots defense, you're going to have to do that again. And can it be new stuff?
Yeah.
Now, again, to our point, he has 2 weeks too. He has 2 weeks to prepare for the
Mhm.
for the Patriots defense. 2 weeks to come up with new stuff. And Clay Kubiak is a dog. Like,
Yeah.
but I think we're like, you could look in the first quarter, and I think if Drake May comes out and if he turns the ball over, I honestly think the Patriots will, if they don't let up points right after it,
Hmm.
will be unfazed because he's been doing it. I think if Darnold does it, I think the Seahawks have to kind of change their game plan. They're going to get conservative. And that is where the Patriots want them to be, right there. They want them to be scared a little bit to throw the ball, to sling it. And I think it'll take one pick or one fumble. And I think we're going to get it early in this game. And I think after that,
Another
go ahead.
another thing for me is I think that or a question that I have is, can the Patriots box JSN? Can they bracket coverage JSN and take him out of the game? I think if he lines up majority of the game on the outside, they can. He's in the backfield, but you've seen that look, right? That's the thing. So I think
Exactly.
I'm just worried that JSN's not going to have the opportunities that he needs. I think if they take him out the game somehow, I don't like I don't like their other options. I just don't. So that's just where I am.
Shahid's got one catch in him, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, also, another thing, the Seahawks special teams this whole season has been
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Has been
Yeah.
completely, like, this is my first year completely doing film review. I think they have 8 or 9 kicker punt return touchdowns. That's got to be close to a record. And I know they changed the rules, but as a team, they were getting him before Shahid, and I think Shahid has 4 combined kick
Yeah.
return punt return touchdowns. He's been here since week 8. That's crazy. Those who don't watch football know that is a ridiculous number of. I think Devin Hester is the most all time with like 17, 18. So to put that in context, he's got 1/4 of that in like 8 weeks. Um, and part of the reason is because I don't know which son. I think it's Jim Harbaugh's son is coaching the special teams. So the McDonald coaching tree, the Harbaugh coaching tree, he's coaching special teams. They get blocks. The Patriots special teams just as good. Maybe not as many touchdowns, but they
Mm-hmm.
get huge plays.
Marcus
Um,
Jones is a really good returner.
really, really good returner. He's explosive. I don't remember. Did they get a pump block in the postseason, the Patriots? I feel like they did. Against the Texans, I think they got a pump block on somebody.
I feel like they got a field goal block or something.
Maybe it was a field goal block, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the edges the Seahawks have had, they're not going to really have in this game. Now, I've done a lot of talking about the Patriots, but let's talk about the Seahawks. Now, what can happen with the Seahawks, if they just shut down these receivers, and if Butte, it's really going to have to be Butte or Pop Douglas. And I don't know where Pop Douglas has been. Where's Pop Douglas been? Hello, Pop?
Yeah.
Because he used to be explosive. Where has he been? Kind of just need you to run a go
But
route.
that's kind of what I'm leaning into, right? Like I can see all of a sudden that since this is the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
you have one where Douglas goes deep, he gets a bomb. Travion Henderson gets a screen, he takes it 55, right? Like
Mhm.
if those kind of plays you can bake into the offense for the Patriots gonna have some smoke.
I also just don't agree with it's not even the Seahawks' fault to me. I
Yeah.
mean, Sam
Mhm.
Darnold is a little bit your fault, but it's because you've shown it on film. But Sam Darnold played great last week. I, I just think it's weird saying that last week was the Super. I've thought this for weeks. I've been personally insulted in the name of football in saying that last week was the Super Bowl when the Rams, I'm sorry, the Rams beat the Panthers by 3. They beat the Bears are a great story.
Yeah.
They beat the Bears and they beat a second-year quarterback and a rookie head coach in their second playoff game where the quarterback has 3 interceptions and it took an overtime wrong route. And then yes, they look good against the Seahawks. Fine. The Rams are not some juggernaut team. So I picked against them every spread except the Bears one, which you picked, and I got that one wrong. So I was like, I'm not picking them again. They aren't a great team. They're a great offense. They have an MVP. They have the MVP. I agree with the MVP. They're not a great team. So saying that last week is a Super Bowl, after you win a game by 4, your offense looks great. Your defense doesn't. And for 2 weeks now, not only have the Seahawks been hearing that was the Super Bowl, but the Patriots have been reading and hearing that they're going to lose by 30. That seems like an unfortunate recipe for the Seahawks. It seems like they're getting set up here. I don't like it at
I,
all.
and to your point, I feel like everyone has already kind of apologized for their previous Sam Darnold takes, right? And I think
Yes.
they're one game too early to the point where they're setting it up that if he has a couple turnovers, has a bad performance, everyone's going to come back and say, I knew Sam Darnold wasn't that good, and I knew I should have never, but I just see it. Like I see it, but
I
it's not.
really see the
It's no fault of Seattle or Sam Darnold.
It's not. I think this is the biggest thing. The reason I'm so insulted is I don't guys, the Patriots are good. I don't the schedule crap had went way too far. Way too far.
Yeah,
Do you know the
it
team
did.
with the second easiest schedule? Because I think the Patriots have been first or something. Or do you know the
Mm-hmm.
other team with the easiest schedule in NFL history? Do you know this? Because I actually looked it
No,
up. It's the 99 Rams. Guess what they did?
they went to the Super Bowl undefeated, right?
No.
Or did they have one loss?
They lost like
Was
two
it one
games, I think.
loss, or was it 2 games? They was 14-2 that year.
Yeah.
I'm
But
pretty
they
sure.
won the Super Bowl. That wasn't the 0-1 Rams that lost to the Patriots.
Oh yeah, you're right. 99 they won.
The 99 they won.
Yeah.
Like and I feel like everyone has been paying too much attention to college football and the committee and strength of
Mm-hmm.
schedule, which makes sense. And strength of schedule has its place. It's not an NFL football. I'm sorry. You got to
No,
win
it's
the
not. I
games.
agree.
It's about winning the games. Every game in the NFL, I know it's cliche, is a hard game to win, and discounting a team that just keeps winning, and it feels like we're in a weird situation where Sam Darnold could go out, play, I don't know, like CJ Stroud, and again, the more time gets away from it, I was killing CJ Stroud. If Sam Darnold
Yeah.
looks the same, it's kind of like, well, I mean, I guess if you're not a great quarterback, this is just what this Patriots team is going to do to you. Like we are
And
one
who
game
was
away.
he throwing to? Who was CJ throwing it to?
Now that's true. He didn't have Nico, and that's a good point. Now that's to the Seattle point. They do have their weapons, and they do have
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Walker who can explode. Texans have no run game. I have no anything, right? So again, very fair, very valid. And you could argue that the Seahawks defense is just as good as the Texans defense, right? So I'm not. I'm Seahawks are definitely a better team than the Texans. Sam Darnold should play better. I mean, 4 picks is crazy in the first half, so I don't think he's going to do quite
Yeah, that's
that.
crazy.
But I just think it feels weird, and I could be wrong. We could be wrong. Seahawks
Mm-hmm.
could go out.
Yeah,
Everyone could be right.
100%.
Smoke them. I'll be like, well, I'll come on. I'm doing this. We're doing a Super Bowl reaction. You catch me at 10, just being like, well, Patriots were frauds. What do you want me to say? They lost by
I don't
25.
think you can be a fraud if you make the Super Bowl. I
I
really
don't, but
don't.
if they lose by 3 touchdowns, what am I gonna say? I mean, if I'm gonna kill Josh Allen, I gotta kill the Patriots. I gotta be. I don't think you can be frauds. I'm picking the Patriots. I actually think they're going to win the game. However, if they lose by 31, I will have to say that. If they lose by
Was
three,
Can- was Kansas City a fraud last year? Did people say that?
people did say that Kansas City was a fraud. Yes, all year. Yes, they did. You
I
might
mean,
not
like after
remember.
the Super Bowl,
I
post Super
didn't.
Bowl.
After the Super Bowl is a good, probably yeah, probably yeah. I'm I know you remember people calling them frauds all season because they were just
I,
winning in
I
these
was
close
I
games.
was definitely one of them. I was not a believer. Not a believer.
But you probably like changed that after they beat the Bills in the playoffs, right? And you're like, all right, well, you know what I mean?
No, I looked at him. I was like, I don't see it. I was like,
So
they're
you
only
just thought
winning
they were
because they have
frauds.
Mahomes. Like, I'm
So
like,
you
dog, Mahomes is just doing it at the end of the game, and they just staying competitive.
so you
He's
so
just better than everybody else, and that's just like winning them games.
interesting. So you did think that the Chiefs were frauds last year.
Yes, every week I'm like, yo, they should have lost last week. They should have lost last week before that. The next
That,
week, I feel like they should have lost that game. And it's like, and they come out the season with
yeah.
15 wins. Like, what do I do with that?
Yeah. That is the Patriots shouldn't have lost any of these games. Now you could argue with Bo Nix,
Mhm.
maybe it looks different. They
Yeah.
shouldn't have lost any of these games. They beat two of the best defenses in the league by double
Mm-hmm.
digits. I just and like their defensive line just turned it up a level. Milton Williams.
Yeah.
God, I miss Milton Williams, man. But you can't have everyone. God on the Eagles. Can't have anyone nowadays. But everyone's running away. I want to get to that now. Right? We got some other stuff to talk about. So once we're done with the Super Bowl talk, stay tuned. We got some other things to dive into um, here on the Lumia Sports Podcast. But yeah, it it feels like we're actually in a situation where the Patriots could win the Super Bowl, and all of the talk, to your point, will be
Mm-hmm.
about, man, Sam Darnold was awful. What happened?
Yeah.
You had the better everything. Why couldn't you
Mm-hmm.
do it?
Yeah.
And no one will give the Patriots credit even then. Well, if CJ and Herbert, well, I mean, look who they had to play: CJ, Herbert, Stidham, and Darnold. I
Yeah.
could see that happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Tony L. Gray doing that, even though he picked the Seahawks. I could see him doing it.
Yeah.
Why did I? Well, I mean, they just had the easiest path ever. It's a
Yeah.
ridiculous
Of
commentary.
course.
It's
Yeah.
actually maddening. It's really making me upset because it's not like, I don't know, Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Lamar died. They didn't die. Now, Mahomes actually missed the playoffs before he got hurt. Closest thing to death is probably torn ACL in the NFL, but he was already out. Lamar just
True.
missed. Josh Allen was right there, and
And Josh Allen plays in the same division as him, man. He didn't win it. He didn't win a division, right?
he lost. And everyone told me that the Texans were a huge Super Bowl threat. I didn't agree because I didn't think their offense was there, but the Patriots beat them.
And give credit, like with the Texans, they were bad this year. They were bad. Everyone thought they were bad. They went on a very historic run at the end of the season to get to where they were,
And the
and
Texans
then they reverted
defense,
back to who they were.
yeah. And I mean, I even think the Texans defense was great, forcing fumbles and everything. And to
Mm-hmm.
your to what we've a big part was no Nico Collins. Now
Mm-hmm.
this is testing one of my theories,
Mm-hmm.
which I got lambasted for in our chat. Actually, it's testing a lot of the theories because I said offensive line is huge. I said that QB. I said that a lot of things matter over wide receivers. However, this is off of it now. But I do think that the Patriots and Seahawks are the two best teams in the league. And I think that is why I'm so frustrated with the talk of this game. I don't think the Rams are better than the Patriots. I don't think that. The Rams don't play any defense. They play no defense. Bryce Young, I like Bryce Young. Bryce Young is my guy. Ice Young.
Yeah.
He had 31 points on them. 31. We
Thrown to a
watched him
rookie
against the
receiver.
Bucks. We watched him against the Buccaneers score like 10. And the Buccaneers wanted their defensive head coach fired because the Bucks don't play any defense. Chris Shula, the Rams DC, lost a head coaching job by his performance throughout the end of this season. Good for the Rams, maybe. They get to keep him.
Yeah.
That defense was not good throughout the entire end
No.
of the season. I don't think the Rams are better than the Patriots. I don't think any other team. I think the best argument, honestly, was a healthy Broncos that we've seen all season. Because I agree with you. I was with you with the Rams thing, but I just kept watching them play. And then Tony El Tigre compared him to the Ravens because they blew a lead, and I was like, all right, I'm off. As soon as he said that, I'm like, yeah, I'm I'm out. Get me out of here. I can't trust that. So it's gonna be a very interesting Super Bowl. Excited to
Mhm.
watch. I'm happy that we us as a pod, we didn't do any talk before this. Didn't seem necessary, because everyone has been trying to downplay. And maybe you guys are right. Maybe the Seahawks will go out, win by 2 touchdowns. It won't be that close. It'll be boring. I don't see it. I
No, I don't
don't
see it either.
see it. I think this is gonna be not wild because the Patriots don't play in wild games, but definitely interesting, nip and tuck. Might even bore some of you, but I love football, so it won't bore me. And I'm going to be watching. I think it's going to be like 24-21. Couple Darnold picks. But the JSN thing, to your point, is interesting because we have seen teams just take away JSN and cook their
Mhm.
offense and cook the Seahawks offense. It is possible.
Yeah.
Like the Rams did it in the first game. I don't know why they went away from it, but they did do it and it worked. So some other things I want to talk about, Darnell. Darnell, what's interesting to you around the NFL? I actually want to let you take it away because I talk a lot. What has been interesting?
Interesting things around the NFL. What's been interesting? I think what's been interesting is a lot of the discussion around the Hall of Fame and the Bill Belichick stuff. I think that's been interesting. And I think the reaction or the overreaction from someone not being first ballot or not. What do you think about that?
I We talked about this last night
Mm-hmm.
in our chat because you guys shout out Nell and Tony, man. They took the time to watch my live real quick and they heard me say that I won't make any outlandish statements. I'm holding back the Darnold thing. I'm kicking Darnold out the top five projectively. But again, if he lights up the Patriots, he's up there. But back to the Hall of Fame like you talked about. Um, I think it's good that the Hall of Famers mentioned are all clear cut Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Clear cut Hall of Famers. Except Roger Craig, but for those who don't know, with the Hall of Fame, if you don't know who Roger Craig is, I think you get 15 years on the ballot, and then you get like your last year, or you get put up one more year. So Roger Craig was that person who, if he doesn't get in this year, he would never get in. I do think that Roger Craig is deserving. He is the first ever player with 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards in one season. He is a big part of the 49ers dynasty in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I know he won, still catching up. He won at least 2 rings, probably three. I don't know if he made it for that. He might have four because the last two were back to back, but I'm watching the documentaries now, so I didn't get there with Roger Craig, but he might have four Super Bowls. He has at least two, and he is the best weapon from those teams because Jerry Rice wasn't there yet.
Three.
He has
Three.
three?
85, 89, 90.
Okay. So that's interesting. So he wasn't on 81, which is, I thought he was on 81, so he wasn't because they won in 81 as well. So, all right. Thank you for telling me that. So 80, 85, right? He was clearly the best weapon on that team. 89, 90. I think they had Jerry Rice there too. But three Super Bowls, running back, first ever, you know what I mean? Dual threat weapon like
Mm-hmm.
that. Opened the way for Marshall Faulk, McCaffrey,
Yep.
and those guys. So I definitely think he deserves to be in. Everyone else, like Larry Fitzgerald. Sorry, Bill.
Right.
I'm not arguing with Larry Fitzgerald, dude. I'm not doing it. Larry Fitzgerald being a Hall of Famer on the Cardinals, and like no doubt, no question, he as a wide receiver carried the Cardinals to a Super Bowl. Guys, if you guys are too I actually looked, most of our viewers are actually, you're gonna like this, Darnell, between 35 and 45. So shout out my OGs, man. Y'all knew, y'all
Shouts
were
to the
there.
OGs.
Yeah. I was tail end of it, but I remember saying it like, because he played my Eagles. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so, and I just was still understanding football. I'm like, bro, every time this guy catches a slant It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. It's not like a 20-yard play. Like we get
It was
hyped
crazy.
now when Puka catches it and goes off for like 30, and then he does this also. Larry
Hmm.
Fitzgerald was taking slants and gone, beating
Yeah,
everyone downfield and getting touchdowns and taking the Cardinals and Kurt Warner just gotten bet he would start off 0 for 7 for the Giants. They replaced him with Eli Manning. He's a journeyman. They were supposed to have Matt Leinart, and that turned out to not work. Kurt Warner just comes in, he's like, "Oh, it was like if Joe Flacco went to the Super Bowl with the Bengals. It really was just
basically.
like that
Yeah.
because he was just like, "Oh, I got Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald, but mainly I have Larry Fitzgerald. Anquan Bolden was great.
Hmm.
I have Larry Fitzgerald. They didn't have a running game. Their offensive line was
Hmm.
probably okay. Their defense wasn't that good. It was just Larry Fitzgerald. So I'm not arguing with Larry Fitzgerald because, and it wasn't just then. I saw a list of his quarterbacks. Do you know Larry Fitzgerald had 22 different quarterbacks? 22.
Yeah, it's
22
crazy.
is crazy. And he was
Crazy.
productive every single season until he
Hmm.
was like, I'm not productive anymore. I'm leaving. And I don't think he
Yeah.
didn't play for any other team but the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So Larry Fitzgerald, 1,000% stamped Hall of Famer. One of the best receivers I've personally got never see live because he was just explosive. Drew Brees. Now, what's interesting is Drew Brees is also a first team Hall of Famer, a first ballot. That But I mean, it's Drew Brees. I'm not arguing with that.
You can't. Nah, Drew Brees
Can't
played till
argue with Drew
40. He was
Brees.
putting up
He's a Hall of Famer, dude.
3,000
Like,
yards every like. He's a
yeah,
Hall of Famer. Like I know what it looked like. It's Drew Brees.
yeah. Drew Brees, Hall of Famer. I think they showed his numbers with the set his numbers while he was
Hmm.
starting. He threw for 73,000 yards.
Yeah.
That's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Like, no, 73,000 is crazy. That's
Hmm.
that's like if you had just do some quick math real quick. That's like if you had 5,000 yards every season
Yeah.
for like 14 years. Brees is in. Vinatieri. Vinatieri's into me. I don't know. I don't even know why it took this long.
Hmm.
Because Vinatieri, if they're if any kicker was ever going to get into the Hall of Fame, it's got to be Adam Vinatieri.
I would
Um,
agree.
and the reason is past the stats, there's a rule where can you write the history of football without saying this guy's name? You cannot do it without Adam Vinatieri. You can't. Now you can add in Tuck Rule, Charles Woods. You can add in obviously,
Hmm.
but he kicked game-winning Super Bowl playoff winning field goals every time, and he actually went to the Colts and helped them win a bowl. So Vinatieri has 4 Super Bowls as a kicker, and
Yeah. Famer.
Patriots didn't win after letting Vinatieri go for like 7 years. Kuechly stamped. Kuechly is stamped. Patrick
Chiefly
Willis is
was
in
a
the Hall
dog.
of Fame. Patrick Willis is in the Hall of Fame, right? I thought he was.
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
I could look it up real quick.
Yeah. I'll continue my diatribe while I do that. Appreciate you, Nell. The thing with Kuechly, that we were all concerned about, I think there was that time in the NFL when weirdly CT was even a bigger deal than it is now. And a lot of players were very, very concerned because the NFL wasn't taking it seriously. They didn't
2024 class.
That's what I thought. So he was in last year.
Yeah.
And I remember there being an outcry when they retired Patrick Willis and Luke Kuechly of two
Hmm.
things. One, man, this sucks. We're getting like great linebackers' careers cut short. But two, it was like right after it. Are these guys getting in the Hall of Fame? They need to get in the Hall of Fame because they it's interesting. I think if they played like 2, 3 years longer, we would have said it, but they borderline were revolutionizing the position of linebacker. As the
Yeah.
post Ray Lewis group, their ability to guard tight ends. I remember it's still the craziest thing I've ever seen. Luke Kuechly, funny enough, on Larry Fitzgerald, you know what I'm talking about? That play,
Hmm.
I don't even know if he guarded it, but he was like, I think he
Yeah.
actually got mossed, but he was still 50 yards down the field guarding a
Yeah.
fly route. And you're just, and he's step for step with Larry Fitzgerald. It was definitely Larry Fitzgerald. I remember this play. And I'm like, yo, what the heck is that? And I was like,
Yeah.
why are they doing this to Luke Kuechly? Was my first thought. but he was like there. I think he got mossed, but it's like, yo, the fact that he was even there. So Luke Kuechly, dominant, helped that team as well get to a Super Bowl. Obviously, Cam Newton too.
Mhm.
Now, my interesting overall take with the Hall of Fame is Belichick's getting in next year because of this outcry. I am happy that the Hall of Famers, though, it's no one who's like borderline. Like, I'm happy it's not,
Right.
just to throw a name out, like Torrey Holt or Reggie Wayne or
Yeah.
Eli Manning. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm happy that they're pure, stamped. I even think Big Ben would have been like, whoa, over Bill. I think these guys are clear Hall of Famers. Just say
And
their name.
speaking of, they did announce who's eligible for the 2027 class, and I'll go ahead and give you those names: Rob Gronkowski, Ben Roethlisberger, Adrian Peterson, Richard Sherman, Cam Newton, Antonio Brown, Alex Mack, Andrew Whitworth, Eric Weddle, Gerald McCoy, Le'Veon Bell, Joe Hayden, Malcolm Jenkins, Brandon Brooks, Devontae Hightower, Ryan Kerrigan.
Devontae Hightower is crazy. So is Malcolm Jenkins, and I love Malcolm Jenkins.
Or Deontay Hightower.
Yeah,
But
Hightower's
that's a
crazy.
lot of them that won't make it, right?
Yeah,
But out of that pool, we have some legit names too.
I think the early ones you
Again,
said, Rob Gronkowski,
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger is really interesting. He's not going to be first ballot, in my opinion. I
Really?
mean, bro, if we're gonna blame Bill Belichick for cheating, we gotta bring up what Big Ben was doing, bro. I
I
don't.
mean, I was just wondering, like, the reasoning. Okay, we don't have to go too much into it.
I
Adrian Peterson,
Adrian Peterson is a
bro,
Hall of
he's first
Famer.
ballot, bro. Got
Adrian Peterson and Richard Sherman are just Hall of Famers.
it.
Like
Okay.
Richard Sherman is no doubt, no question. Who else did you
So
name
this is
early?
this is what I'll say, right?
Go ahead.
Can you let Big Ben in first ballot without letting in Antonio Brown first ballot?
I don't know if Antonio Brown is getting into the Hall of Fame. I'm gonna be
I don't think
completely
he
honest
is
with
for a lot
you.
of reasons as well.
I'm gonna be completely. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I think one of the biggest
Mhm.
reasons is that they don't want this dude to speak at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
I understand.
And I don't even I also
But this is the thing.
understand
This is the thing, right?
he's
I'm
a
not
felon at
sure
this
he's
point.
even possible for him to get there,
Yeah.
seeing
He's
as
in jail,
this
right?
dude been on the run. He had to get extradited from Dubai, bro. Like,
And it's crazy because on the field, Antonio Brown is definitely a Hall of Famer to me, having watched him.
yeah.
And I don't I
And he got a bowl too. He got a
here
bowl.
here's the crazy thing. I don't think Antonio Brown was stamped as a Hall of Famer until he went with the
Mm-hmm.
Buccaneers, and it became clear to me,
Yeah.
personally watching, that
Mm-hmm.
he was the reason they won that Super Bowl. He was not the reason. Brady's the reason. There's a lot of
Yeah.
reasons. That team had a bunch of superstars on it. It was pretty ridiculous, actually, how they stacked that team. But Brady
Yeah.
did that. And he was like, I'm going to a stacked team and we're winning this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the difference maker to the point
Yeah.
where he didn't play the first 8 games. When he came back, Brady was force feeding it to him, and then he was just dominant. He was just
Mm-hmm.
dominant, and he was a mess leading up to that. Brady held it together with some masking tape. He said, "Bro, live with my
You
house,
you can live with me
sleep
if
with
you
my
have to,
wife.
bro.
You can do whatever you want in here. You can.
That's
The
wild.
chef will make you food." That's what he said. We're about to get
No, I'm saying
divorced anyway. I
that's
don't care
wild.
about that ring. I want this ring. And it happened. And Antonio Brown, they don't win that Super Bowl without Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown was guys should look. Antonio Brown had, I think, 1,000 yards in 8 games. He was
He was
dominant,
cooking. He was cooking for sure.
dominant. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, there's no stopping this team. A lot was made of the meeting Tom Brady and Bruce Arians had. We got
Mm-hmm.
to, a lot of that was Antonio was we gotta get the ball to Antonio Brown. I know you don't like him. He is cramping my space right now. He's making things
Remember when
weird.
he remember the whole feet thing,
Yeah, the frozen foot, the chronic. That's
bro?
what led him to because he
Gosh,
was on the Raiders. And
yes,
he's like,
yes. I just man, I miss AB being in the league, man.
bro,
That
AB
guy
being in the
was
league.
entertainment.
Do you remember how he got there? How he became a Raider? He started the trend, bro. Antonio Brown he started the trend of these athletes talking a lot of smack, just saying whatever they want on Twitter. But before that trend, which is we don't know what that is, he started the trend of recording the coaches post game
Oh yeah, he did.
interviews. He
I forgot
started that
about that. He
and
was in the he was going live from the locker
he
room.
just
Remember that?
posted it. And Tomlin was like,
Yeah,
bro, I love the whole, empowerment thing, but I'm talking a lot of crap here, and I need you to not
yeah,
do that. Antonio Brown was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't this is fun.
yeah.
This is good stuff. You're helping me build my brand. Antonio Brown might get in 10 years. Um, and I think the NFL is just waiting for him to be in prison so that they can put him in the Hall of Fame. Bro,
Oh
I
wow, wow
don't say
story,
this
bro.
lightly. Antonio Brown at the Hall of Fame ceremony may pants himself, and no one needs to see that. He's done it before.
Yeah, he gives Kanye at the Grammys, and I'm sure everyone knows what that
And
means.
it's not all AB's fault, by the way. This is all Vontez Burfict's fault. You're an asshole. You just why did you do that? Why did you do that?
That was a
You
bad
you
hit.
you literally changed this man's life. Now AB had character concerns before, but like you killed him.
Mhm.
You disseparated his brain, and it was
That was bad.
unnecessary.
It was bad.
It was guys, be careful when you go do this. Watch the Vontez Perfect hit. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It was so bad that it was like, wow. Yeah, can we just get him off the field? It was like, damn, he just really. You could tell right then. CT was just becoming a thing. You're like, wow, did he just end his whole career with that stupid
That
behind?
was that was the point of time where I realized, like, man, I cannot believe I played football like my whole life. Like, dang, I played the game where you can get hit like that. I ain't signed up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't sign up for
Crazy.
that.
And then it started a whole thing where Juju did it to him. That whole thing.
Yeah,
Watch that second. It's crazy. But yeah, Antonio Brown he's got a lot of impact. The problem is though, you still have Antonio Brown. His lasting image was literally him piecing out, leaving, and leaving the Buccaneers to dry. Go ahead.
can you tell the story of the NFL without
I
mentioning Antonio Brown? You cannot do it. You can't do it.
he's
Can't do it.
in. He's.
Can't do it,
I don't think you can.
bro.
I
He
I
has
think
too many
partially.
iconic moments. Too
I
many.
think I think partially too. You could argue Antonio Brown is the reason that Le'Veon Bell's name is even thrown up there. Le'Veon Bell's not a
Yeah.
Hall of Famer. Respectfully, Le'Veon Bell was great. I like this little.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're not a Hall of Famer. The only reason he's up there, killer bees.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. And I don't think you can tell the story of the NF. But but we saw Drewski at the NFL honors. Is that a story? Because everyone's been flirting with JSN's name all year. He just said it.
Yeah.
Is that a story that the NFL wants to tell?
No, they don't. That's the thing. So
Is
that's
that a
why I know.
story? Is that a
That's
story that
why,
they want Antonio Brown to tell at the ceremony? They at least got to wait for him to be in jail. I'm not even kidding about it.
man.
They have to. He can't.
Yeah, he's a
He
Hall of
can't talk
Famer, but like just like
on the
T.O.,
field.
he just not go get in first round. I mean, first ballot.
I think Antonio Brown is going to be really. I'm saying it tongue in cheek, but now that I said it, the more that I'm saying it, I actually am starting to believe it. They actually need him to be locked away somewhere before they can say, "Here, Antonio Brown, he is celebrated as a Hall of Famer." And can you imagine last night if Antonio Brown walks up at the NFL honors? what he could have done. He could have done anything. He could have done literally anything. And I guarantee if Drewski is ever at NFL honors again, I will be stunned.
He won't be. So
Exactly. And we know
yeah.
what they Pac-Man Jones. Look it up. Pac-Man Jones used to do stuff off the field. And NFL was like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
you're suspended for like the year.
Yeah.
We're like, this is so much
NFL, it's
better.
about the shield, bro.
Who else did you name in that list? Offensive line was tough. Alex Mack is tough. He's like a Pro Bowler thing. Andrew Whitworth.
Eric Weddle, Gerald McCoy, Le'Veon Bell, Joe Hayden, Malcolm Jenkins, Brandon Brooks, Dante Hightower, Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah, none of those guys are Hall of Famers. So it's no offense to those guys.
No,
Um,
I'm not.
Great careers, not Hall of Famers. Very good players. Hightower is crazy, but I think he won 3 rings with the Patriots as middle linebacker, so I guess I respect that. Um, the yeah, so I mean, yeah, next year's gonna be really interesting. Gronk, you still have Belichick, you still have Robert Kraft.
I don't care. Like, why do we have to put Robert Kraft in Hall of Fame? He's not like he wasn't just first eligible last year or this year. It's another thing that people in there outraged.
I think you have to put Robert Kraft in because Jerry Jones is in.
Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame.
I think he is, yes. I think he got in the Hall of Fame a couple years ago. I remember it. That is why you have to put Robert Kraft in. I also think that I don't know if you know this, but Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft, um,
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of beef.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons that Kraft isn't in. They differ on a lot of the big. That's crazy. Jerry Jones was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2017. So yeah, we got to get Robert Kraft in there, bro.
I think Robert Kraft should get in, and especially if they win it this year, bro. It's like, what else can you say?
The, to be fair, even with the Robert Kraft, even if you take out the Belichick thing, his team also did make a Super Bowl before Belichick and now after Belichick. They made the Super Bowl with Bill Parcells. I think they lost to the Packers.
And they did it without Tom Brady, bro.
Yeah, and without Tom Brady twice now. I think Kraft is a Hall of Famer. I hear what you're saying though with the outrage. I think part of the outrage is the fact that he might die soon. I hate to say it like that, but I think that that's a component. Here are your NFL owners in the Hall of Fame. Pat Bowlen, Denver Broncos, 2019. Jerry Jones, 2017. Eddie DeBartolo Jr., 2016. Pat Bowlen, by the way, was with the Broncos when they won 3 rings. DeBartolo was with the 49ers, I believe, with all 5 of them, but specifically in the 80s. And Ralph Wilson. I don't even know who Ralph Wilson is. Ralph Wilson, Bills, 2009. Yeah, we gotta get Kraft in there, bro.
Yeah, I
That
wouldn't be
list
mad.
is just that I mean, like, come on, man. Like he's better than all those guys. Well, um, I think they're gonna do something where Belichick and Kraft might go in the same year. Um, Gronk, I mean, he's a
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Famer, right? Like, I wonder how many people. I wonder what the ballot was this year. I feel like we should look at that, right? Like Hall of Fame 2026 ballot. Because there's some people who are still on the list, right?
Yeah.
Who da, 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 da. Tom Brady cast doubts, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, Tom Brady's like get my guys up in the Hall of Fame. I wish I could see who else. The Hall of Famers, blah blah blah. It's just showing me who's actually
So
in
I
the.
have the semi-finalists here.
Thank you, appreciate you. That's fight right there.
So we have Willie Anderson,
No,
Drew Brees, Jahari Evans, Larry Fitzgerald, Frank Gore, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, Terrell Suggs, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, Kevin Williams, Jason Witten, Darren Woodson, Marshall Yanda, Belichick Kraft, Roger Craig, Ken Anderson, and L.C. Greenwood were in there. They call it the senior ballot.
Yeah.
And then they have semi ballot, which has Lomas Thomas, Rodney Harrison, Robert Mathis, Philip Rivers, Steve Smith Sr., Fred Taylor, Earl Thomas, Hines Ward, Richmond Webb, Vince Wilfork, Steve Wisniewski.
So I'm gonna be honest. I think that I was waiting for that name. I think Earl Thomas is definitely a Hall of Famer, but I'm not sure. Maybe his longevity, but I think I think
Mhm.
Earl and Sherman should be in. I think if they don't won again, I think Cam Chancellor would be up for a discussion. But I do think Earl is in. Um, Terrell Suggs is interesting. Frank Gore is really interesting. Reggie
He's
Wayne,
more like he's one of those just like for longevity, right?
that's it. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't like honestly. Same with Reggie Wayne, if we're being honest, and a little bit of Torrey Holt. But the like just listening to that list. I mean Gronk, taking Gronk over those guys. Gronk is in.
Yeah, when I think Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, I think like for people today, I think of T. Higgins, right? Is T. Higgins a Hall of Famer, or is it like Judge Jamar Chase is a Hall of Famer? Is T.
Yeah,
Higgins a Hall of Famer necessarily? Super good receiver, Hall of Famer, maybe not, right?
yeah.
That's just how I feel about those two
Just like
guys.
how like you said, like how Marvin Harrison is in.
Yeah,
I I think Belichick and Kraft get in next year. That doesn't. I'm trying to remember the first because those guys, I
out
don't
of
think any of
that
them.
pool of players, yeah, it's nobody crazy that's like a Bill Belichick that's off.
Now, what I
Yeah,
do find interesting though is again we talked about first ballot for Big Ben, Big Ben and Eli. I'm trying to think. I
Big
think
Ben is over Eli.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Okay.
That's not even where I'm trying to think of the timetable of them getting in because I think this is they have to get in. I mean, they have time, right? It's got to be pretty soon because you don't want to wait for is Peyton in. Peyton should be in already, right?
Yeah, Peyton's in.
So you don't want to wait for. I mean, I guess there's no one really to wait for, right? Like I'm trying to think of who would be in
No,
that gap.
that era, that's it.
And Breeze is in. Every Brady's gonna get in. Now that Brady, that's gonna take a spot away. So probably
Yeah,
not gonna get two quarterbacks in the Brady year. But like outside of that, I'm really trying to think because Rodgers is still playing.
yeah.
Um, so I think, and again, listening to those names, it's kind of like I mean, they might.
So you're not gonna go Philip Rivers, right?
No,
Nobody. No,
I don't know about Eli. Big Ben
I
is
don't
all.
think Eli's. I don't think Eli's a Hall of Famer. I don't.
That's valid. I mean, the dude had. I mean, the interception. I looked at the Eli. The Eli numbers are the seasons are really bad. I
I
can't.
watched him play, bro. I watched him
Yeah,
play. I don't. I don't have to rewatch it. I don't.
I just saw some of these years. I'm like 27 interceptions. This is 10 years. This isn't the 70s, bro. It's 10 years ago.
No, that's when they used to really throw that thing. They don't even throw it no more. They used to really throw that thing.
27 is a lot. I was looking at the nobody else know 20. 27 led the league. That's why I'm bringing up
But
20.
but he played in the prime of quarterbacking in the NFL to me.
It's a bold take.
It's not. That era of quarterbacks was that's peak quarterbacking in the NFL. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger. It's peak, man.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying it's a I don't want to agree or disagree with you yet. I'm saying it's a bold take.
Not really, man.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm
This is
trying
what
to make
quarterbacks
less
was.
I'm
This
trying to
is what
make less.
quarterbacks was throwing for 55 touchdowns, man. What are we talking about, man?
It's true. That's valid. That's fair. I mean, one quarter. You said quarterbacks, but one. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's only one, but
I
yeah,
was gonna, yeah. I was gonna compare it to this era, but they were putting up crazier numbers. They really were
yeah,
as a collective. Like Breeze was putting up 5,000 yards and not even considered for MVPs. He did like three
yeah.
straight years, right? Something stupid like that.
Something crazy.
Yeah. Breeze was like throwing it for 5,000 yards, going 8-8, and just like
And then you compare it to today, right? You have
the numbers are down.
like
Yeah,
quarterbacks that get MVP votes when they played for the Chargers.
it's time. You're right. Yeah, what's going on with this Herbert stuff, man? It's out of control. You guys need help. You guys need help. Like the Herbert stuff, possibly. I think that the right guy won MVP.
I would agree.
But like, what if Drake May had won off of that? And like, I thought not the wrong guy, because I thought Drake May was great this season. But like, can you
But that's how Drake May
even
lost.
with it or without it? The, so for those who don't know what we're talking about, because so the MVP voting, we found out the MVP votes last year. Matthew Stafford beat Drake May by one vote,
Mm-hmm.
one first place vote. And the other people receiving votes were Josh Allen, who got two. By the way, I've been called the Skip Bayless of Josh Allen takes by my friends, which I think is a take. I think I'm just being honest. But anyway, um, I have no problem. I mean, he probably shouldn't get MVP votes, but whatever. If
Yeah,
you want to
right.
just
But he was last year's MVP, right on board. Didn't have
Josh
the
Allen had
craziest drop off.
moments throughout the season
Mm-hmm.
when he was amazing.
Yeah,
Buccaneers game, he had moments where he was like, "Oh wow." And then Trevor Lawrence was also fourth, which I was like, okay, sure. But then Justin Herbert got a first place vote. Did you hear the
and
reasoning?
yes, I have it right here. Do you have it?
You can go.
Okay, so in case you don't know, this was from Sam Monson, formerly of Pro Football Focus,
Oh, of course.
who, in case you didn't know, is originally from like Ireland or something like that. So I just want to add that for context. But yesterday he put on
We
Twitter
need
after it was
you
revealed.
have to have citizenship to vote. You need to be a born US citizen to vote on
No, it's just like okay, it's the PFF guys that are from Europe. Okay, that makes sense. And this was his reasoning. I was the Justin Herbert vote. The guy had the worst offensive line in the NFL all season. And despite that, he was working miracles in almost every single game. Stafford's O line became 2/5 as bad as Herbert's for 5 minutes, and he became a turnover howitzer. He embodied quote value. That was his explanation. That's why he voted Justin Herbert first place in MVP voting.
You want to go first or you want me to go first?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I just get a definition on I'm gonna look this up as I say it. Can I
I'll look it
get
up for you. Go ahead.
can you look up the Chargers points per game? Because I want to know what is the definition of a miracle? What is this guy talking about? Miracles? Performing miracles, bro. Is that what he said? Bro,
That's what he said.
their defense was like, I think it was top seven in league in points allowed. No, the offensive line wasn't good, but he had three good receivers. The offensive coordinator wasn't good, but when you go miracles, and the dude's winning games, scoring 20 points a game. I
They
just
were 20th out of 32 teams in points per game or points for 21.6 a game, ninth points against 20 a game.
sorry, mom, shit is getting out of control. It's my first cuss all pod, and it's warranted. Because you know what I thought about?
Mm-hmm.
isn't that crazy to look at now? I knew it was something. I didn't know it was that low. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was like
Mm-hmm.
13th, 14th. 20th
Yeah,
in the league is crazy.
yeah,
He also, I believe, had the fourth most picks in the league. So saying that about Stafford sounds good, but Herbert actually was like up there with the most turnovers. So I think interceptions, he was top five and throwing the most picks. So they're not scoring. He's turning the ball over and he's performing and their defense is ninth in the league in points allowed. Their defense pretty good. And they were the seventh seed. What miracles did he perform?
yeah. 13 picks, 26 touchdowns.
Miracles? Miracles is crazy. Is the miracle
Yeah,
that
it's
he's
kind of
dating?
crazy.
Is the miracle that he's dating Madison Beer? Is that the miracle? I'm confused on the miracle. I just don't know what miracles he was working with the Chargers. I'm sorry. He worked no miracles. This is what people think I do with Hurts, isn't it? Like, it's got to be. I would never say that Hurts this year was working miracles just because Lane Johnson was out. I mean, we weren't missing both tackles. But just because A.J. Brown was a mess, our coordinator was a clown, just like the Chargers. We lost in the first round, just like the Chargers. Our defense was better than the offense, just like the Chargers. He actually had way less turnovers, way less pressure, but same amount of running game, by the way, just like the Chargers. And I would never classify, and they lost in the first round in disappointing fashion. But at least he scored some points, unlike the Chargers. And I would just never say
So
that he performed miracles. Miracles?
I did find the final numbers for the Chargers offensive line. So ESPN pass block win rate has the Chargers 32nd.
Yeah.
ESPN run block win rate has the Chargers at 31st. PFF pass blocking efficiency has the Chargers at 30th. PFF run blocking grade has the Chargers 32nd. And then PFF pass blocking grade has them 31st. That might be by far the worst combination of
Yeah.
rankings I've ever seen for offensive line. So to that point, there's some validity to it. But that even being said, no, what are we doing? And
Justin
funny enough,
Herbert's.
I'm seeing this in a Chargers Reddit, and the top comment says Herbert should be MVP. And the top response, yes, but most of the league ain't ready to have that conversation yet.
Well, this dude from Ireland was ready.
Chargers Nation believes. So there's people out there that believe that there's validity to the statement that Justin Herbert should be MVP.
This is making my head hurt. I just okay. They always just go too far to where we have to be anti-Herbert people. There were times this year I was really, really impressed with what Herbert did. Multiple
Mm-hmm.
times against us. We were just hitting the Eagles. We were hitting the crap out of him, hitting the
Mm-hmm.
snot out of him. And he kept getting up, kept running, kept making
Yep.
plays. But to bring that up and not bring up how on the same end, when they played us, they had four interceptions and the defense was also outstanding is a little bit ridiculous. That's why I have a problem with the miracles thing. Offensively, Herbert, I can't go phenomenal. He was really good, really,
Yeah.
really good. I think they have a lot of weapons on that team. Now, was the offensive line dead? Absolutely. They weren't good. 100%. We also knew that Slater was going to be out before the season, which we knew would be a problem. Um, but my issue with the Herbert thing is we saw him last year with the whole offensive line. 20
And you know
touchdowns, three picks.
what's weird about it? If you look at the names, like these aren't scrubs. Like,
They're
you know what I'm
not.
saying? Rashawn Slater at left tackle, Zion Johnson at left guard.
Well, Slater was out for the whole year. That
Right.
that was the problem. Him and Alt were hurt. So
Bradley
that's
Bozeman at center. They did bring in Mekhi Becton and Trey Pipkins, the third at right tackle.
I think
I mean,
Becton was
obviously, it's a lot of
yeah.
players that scrubs. About
Yeah.
three of those are scrubs, but
They have scrubs for sure. I just the freaking it's I'm hung up on the word miracles.
yeah, I think he's exaggerating that a bit.
Because
I
Herbert
don't
had
think
great
MV.
moments this year. He was
Mhm.
it was tough, clutch win against the Broncos early in the season. There were also games like losing to the Commanders,
Yeah,
um, in which he imploded. And this is tough for me because it's not a postseason award. However, I actually would have had a bigger problem with Drake May winning the award than Matthew Stafford because Drake May hasn't been great this postseason, and Matthew Stafford was great. And
yeah.
that can be wrong. I'm sorry. Maybe you guys will stop doing these awards in the middle of the playoffs. Swear I don't have the information, but I can't unsee what I'm seeing. And Herbert did what we all knew he was gonna do. Like, come on, man. Like
Yeah,
miracles. Where are the miracles in the playoff game where he scored 3 points?
right.
We want me to what? What are we talking about? And the Herbert people, they always go too far to the point where I'm making a take right now. I actually believe
Mhm.
that Justin Herbert would hurt his reputation making a deep playoff run. I'm at that point. I think he's at, I don't think it could get any better for Justin Herbert than where he is right now. What's he supposed to do?
He
He's
ha- he
overmatched.
has the he has the best of both worlds for sure,
It's
for
crazy.
sure.
Like, where do they do that at?
Yeah,
I'm
He is Josh Allen White for sure.
guys. Do you remember when I told Lou that? And he was like, no, no, no. I'm like, Josh Allen's kind of become an if man.
Yeah,
They want him to win, but
yeah.
if he
There you
doesn't,
go.
if he if he doesn't, you actually get to prop him up more because who's he playing with?
Yes, that is true.
Like it's crazy. Like what do we? And I don't even want to. Josh Allen, as many turnovers as he'll make, will at least score some points in the
Mm-hmm.
games. And we've seen him against Mahomes, while not being better than Mahomes and not being perfect and like not converting a third down here, a fourth down here. Justin Herbert literally malfunctions every postseason.
He always loses the shootout, but he at least makes it a shootout, right?
Yes, exactly. He'll fight. Herbert,
Herbert he'll get smoked, bro. And just not
no,
a
there was
chance.
one playoff game this entire postseason I didn't finish,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Patriots Chargers. And it's because after about a quarter, I realized two
Yeah.
things. I was like, damn, we're not getting any great Drake May today because this Chargers
No.
defense is really, really good. Jesse Mentor, shout out Ravens new head
Mm-hmm.
coach that Dom was upset about it because he didn't know who he was. He was like, we need a new, who is this guy? Free Lamar. I'm like, dude, that's a good hire. I think that's kind of
It
who you
really
want.
was.
It
Yeah.
was actually the right hire. Um,
Yeah.
but B, I'm like, oh, Herbert isn't gonna score. And he didn't. I'm like, oh, this guy, he's got nothing. He's got no juice. He's just gonna
Mm-hmm.
sit here and just be awful again. And that's what he is. And
Yeah.
and it's great for him because he can be awful in the round with 6 playoff games. We will just continue to go on like it doesn't happen. He'll get an MVP vote. We'll bring him up. Chargers Reddit will defend him because he's 6'6" and his girlfriend's hot, I guess. And he throws a cute football. And he plays in LA and he might have a little autism and his hair is curly. And that's it. And I'm sorry, Justin Herbert fans, but you got to hear the truth because it's gone on too far. You're going too far giving him an MVP vote. That's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. That might be worse. That all the Belichick stuff, this is worse than
Mm-hmm.
that. He didn't like what? Because his offensive line was bad, he's the MVP. What are we doing? I've
Yeah.
never heard that rationale in
Mm-mm.
my life of football ever. Drake May's offensive line was also really bad. If you're going to make that the vote, Drake May's offensive line was bottom five in maybe not pat in sacks at least. I don't know about the PFF numbers. They weren't good in
And
pass.
then
Go ahead.
and another thing is, I always find it weird when people try to redefine what MVP is. Like, oh, when you're talking about value, this
Yeah.
is value. I know the name of the award is the most valuable player, bro, but
Yeah.
we know that's not exactly what the MVP is.
Yeah.
The MVP is, at this point, who's the best player? Who's the best player in the league? Who had
Disagree
the
with
best
you.
season? Who had the best season? And pretty much who's the best quarterback is
That's
what
what
it's
I was
become.
gonna say.
It's become what who's the best quarterback.
That
When
last
it
point.
has been who's the best player this season.
Who's the best quarterback with the best combination of wins and stats?
Yep.
And I mean, Herbert won as many games as Stafford, but the stats, I mean, come on, dude. Like,
No.
Stafford was first in yards and first in touchdowns. I don't know. Like,
But this is the thing. Like, if you think that Herbert had a great season and he should get some kind of credit for it, that's fine, right? But a first
first,
place
yeah, first,
MVP vote, bro. What are we doing?
yeah,
First place. If you wanted to vote him third, I understand. If
yeah,
you felt so
exactly.
strongly about it,
Yeah,
but first place, bro, you're being disingenuous. Come on, man. You're being
I agree
disingenuous.
with that actually. Like, if you want to put Herbert, I don't personally agree with it, but I would understand it.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
Herbert with the Trevor Lawrence and the Josh Allens,
Mm-hmm.
specifically this season. I don't agree. Again, personally, like I said, don't agree, but fine. The- Drake May and Matthew, like, no. Drake May's
Yeah.
offensive line was also bad. And Drake May was winning more games. And again, part of this is the NFL's fault. I watched them play each other. I mean, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do with that? So, coach of the year though, Vrabel, I agree with that one.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to talk about Drewski's moment real quick. I don't want to say what he
Yeah.
said,
Let's do it.
but
Let's do it.
Drewski couldn't help himself. And I
No, he
can't,
didn't.
I mean, let's just be honest, right? I've had a problem
Mm-hmm.
this year with announcers saying Ningjigba as happily as they've said it. We know his name's JSN, but some of these guys, they love it when JSN gets 8 catches. They're like, "Oh, look at Jackson Smith Ningjigba," and you're like, "All right, you're getting some off. You're getting some off." Well, Drewski just said it. Um, all right, mom, close your ears. I gotta say it for the people one time. He said "nigaba," and that's crazy. And he said it, and
Yes.
in doing my research, I'm watching the whole NFL honors. So I'm watching John Hamm make a bunch of corny jokes, and the awards
Mm-hmm.
they kept it flowing. Not gonna lie, they kept it flowing. They kept it moving. They got Bijan DJing. That was cool, right? Puka was having a great time. He was smiling. You could see his CTE hasn't fully kicked in yet. He's still in that feel good place, the
Yeah.
before AB spot. So he was vibing. They had him dancing and stuff. He knew every word to all the Too Short and E40 songs too, which is shout out Puka, man. I mean, yeah,
He's locked in the Bay, man.
he's in the
Who
mix,
knows?
man.
Who
I mean,
knows?
he was rapping along with the like, oh, okay, all right, Puka, you
Right.
got some motion. He does have a little motion. It's too bad he's a Nazi. But back to Drewski. This, this Drewski said it. He said, I have a question for you in whole because you bring in Drewski. I
Yeah.
saw him there early and I'm like, that's interesting that he's there, right? A
Mm-hmm.
bunch of non NFL peoples there. What do you think about the whole thing? Because you know why he did it. I understand
Mm-hmm.
completely why he did. He repeated it 4 times. He's like, yo, Instagram, yo, TikTok, y'all catching this? I just
Clip
got
this.
him.
Right.
To the point where Tony El Tigre, I forgot it happened because I went, recorded, was tired. But when he did
Mm-hmm.
it, and I knew I couldn't bring it up in my live because like I just want to get these words out, but I was like, this is
Yep.
definitely a moment to
Mm-hmm.
where Barry Sanders would be like, bro, Big
And
Jigba.
that's the other part about it, right? You standing up there next to NFL greatness, royalty,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're presenting a award to Jackson Smith and Jigba, one of the best receivers in the game, next to one of the best running backs, best players of all time in Barry Sanders. And instead of embracing that moment like that, you turn it into this.
And not only that, but a player in Barry Sanders that I've seen him on first take wearing his jersey.
Yeah.
So I'm interested, right? Like, I mean, Drewski knows
See,
what he's.
that was another moment when he had that jersey on, and the commentator asked him
Yeah.
whose jersey he was wearing, and that
Whose
was a
jersey it
big
was.
deal. Like, or yeah, she did had no idea who he was, and yeah, people were up in arms about that. It was Monica
I think she
McNutt. It
asked
was
if it was
Monica
like
McNutt.
Shador Sanders or something. And it was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
something like that. Yeah,
oh man,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is why
That was
ESPN is in the
wild.
trash. That was wild. Yeah, that's a violation. She needed to get fired for that. Like immediately. But I just I'm interested in that decision, right? As someone in
Yeah.
space who I make
Mm-hmm.
decisions, I made a decision about 5 minutes ago to actually say what he said.
Yeah.
We make decisions, but and he knows what's best for his brand, his career. But I do think it could have been something for Drewski where he could have been there for years, right? And
And
I, I, I temper it with you don't want to get too high on your own supply. You
mhm.
still want to be a professional. But Drewski goes after everyone, so I mean, he goes after
I
Patsy.
think
He goes after. This is what he does. But I do
he
think
is a
that moment,
habitual line stepper, as they would
yeah,
like to say in
a
lingerie line.
habitual. So it's interesting. And yes, definitely, he definitely made that moment about that. Now, watching it live, I did start paying attention more and I did laugh. And
Mhm.
I know that Instagram, TikTok, he's going to go crazy with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as a comedian, this is kind of part of his job to some degree. It is to be a line stepper. It is to be Chris Rock and get slapped in your face. It is to be like get possibly banned from NFL honors and
You
say
have to read, but you have to read the room, right? And one thing
100% that.
I disagree on is
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
don't break the FCC guidelines for a joke, right? Because they really get fined for that stuff. Like you can't just like when that's why they tell Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball, like, dude, stop cussing in your press conference. Like you're on live
Yeah.
TV. That's why they get fined for that kind of stuff. Because, bro, we have to pay when y'all do that.
The only defense I have for it,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really a defense of it. I don't know how busy Drewski is. And I don't even know if this is why he did it. I don't know how much he watches these games. But I'm
But that's
telling you,
another reason. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they don't even, if he's not even locked in enough to know who JSN is,
well, but
why are you here?
but here's the I'm saying in the case that he does know and that he has watched
Mm-hmm.
JSN play, and I hate to put it this, but he watches these white commentators really, really, really get it off. They do. I like we can't act like they don't. Now they don't say it. It was this. I'll tell you because I was thinking about. I've been thinking about it for a while. Mark Schlereth was just salivating over getting to say Nick Jigba. He was enunciating this guy, Nick Jigba. Like, come on, bro. Like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
I
So
mean, it is his name. It is his name.
it is his name. but you know what you're doing. Mark Schlereth might not know what he's doing. Apparently, he pisses in plane seats. So maybe he doesn't exactly know what he's doing. And maybe I'm taking it a different level than where Drewski took it, which is I just want to, you know what I mean? Maybe he isn't
Yeah,
aware of any of this, right? But as a football fan who's watched other people say it, now it's unfortunate. I think the most unfortunate thing is obviously for JSN, depending on how he takes it, because that is his name.
right.
And now
And
you
we've
have,
seen, and we've seen, like you can go back to Boss Spice or West Brick. People don't like when their names are messed with like that.
you don't got to go that far. Go back to Falcons training camp.
There you go. It's another one.
Had me calling
And
that man by not had me calling Penix something else for a good 5. We had to stop. I had to stop. I was like, this is probably not good for my brand if I just keep calling him this.
it's crazy enough that JSN went viral for a new nickname this week already for him to, you know what I'm saying? Like you
Did
really
he?
could have just, yeah, you did see like so a dude
I didn't even know. What's the
in
new
like
nickname?
the interview, he called him, he said, what about we're gonna give you a new nickname and it's gonna be the Emerald City Route Runner. How about that? And it's like, what? And so people started calling him the Emerald City Route Runner. Like it's always, it's like the wackiest nickname ever. But it's like you could have had some kind of fun with that. But
Yeah.
instead, you had to do that, bro. This it kind of reminds me of last year when they had in the NBA All Star game where they had Mr. Beast, bro. Like what?
You were
This is just
really
so
upset
random.
about the
I
Mr. Beast
was,
thing.
bro. I'm like, yo, what are
It's
we doing?
it's so I remember us talking about this in chat. The funniest part about the whole thing,
Yeah,
Lou wasn't in our chat yet, but me and Tony Altigre, I wouldn't have known Mr. Beast was ever there if I didn't see you text, why is Mr. Beast here? Because I wasn't watching that game. because because we all knew at this point that it was
yeah,
chalked. And Darnell, lover of basketball, um, a basketball savant, was like, "Well, it's an all-star game. I'm not missing it." I think I watched it like the year before, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm done, bro. I'm not watching this crap,
yeah,
bro."
yeah.
But so I missed the Mr. Beast year, and then next thing I know is All-Star game is on, and our guy Nell is like, "Why is Mr. Beast still here?"
It was the only year I've ever willingly just turned the game off mid. I was like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. Like, just get this off of my television. Like, you're watching the game and you can't follow what's going on. Like, where are we in the program? Like, you ever be somewhere like a some kind of event and you like, man, do they got a rundown of what time stuff's supposed to happen? Like,
Yeah.
what time are they actually playing games? Like, it was weird, bro. I hated
Yeah,
it.
like yeah, I've been here for 20 minutes and I heard a bunch of stuff was supposed to happen, but this stuff hasn't happened and we're already late on the
Yeah,
schedule and I'm trying to be out at this time where it ends.
yeah.
Then you just gotta make those executive decisions. Man, Drewski. Black people just can't act right, man. That's what Drewski just made it look like, man. He couldn't help himself. Couldn't help
He
himself.
couldn't help himself. That was a bad moment for him.
That was
It was funny
I don't
if
know if it was a bad moment for him. It was a bad moment for the NFL. I don't, and probably JSN. I'm not sure it could be a bad moment for him. It's probably a bad moment for him as
in the
a
long run it
reputable,
is.
yes, as a reputable
But
person that
yeah.
these leagues can put up there.
Mhm.
Probably won't get that chance again.
Yeah. But he made a moment like he has or tended to do, regardless of, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna
It's
find a way to
really
make a
interesting.
moment.
Like, are you looking more at your short term or are you looking more
Yeah,
at long
versus
term?
long term.
And
And I think that's a very short sighted move because
very,
it makes sense, or not makes sense, but it's funny that first day. But if things start to slow down for you on social and you wanted to lean into doing something else,
he's already on
you've closed a
commercials.
lot of doors. Yeah, you're closing doors,
Hmm.
which, you know,
Time and a place, man.
yeah.
That's why I waited 2 hours in to say it, man. I didn't want to turn off our viewers, but at a certain
Yeah,
point, we got to say what the man said because it was out of pocket. Hey, man, I appreciate Nell coming through,
yes,
joining
sir.
um for this pod. DJ Sweetlou just texted me actually that he overslept. That sucks, but it happens,
Yeah,
man. It
yikes.
happens. Yeah. But yeah, Super Bowl, NFL honors, a lot going on, and we have a lot. Stay tuned. Um, for the Lumia, we're gonna change the name. Spoiler alert. So if you stuck by this long, you're gonna know we're changing the name to the Lumia. I think we're just gonna go Lumia NFL. I think we're gonna make it nice and simple,
Nice and concise, huh?
nice and
Okay, I like it.
concise. Um, but we got a lot of stuff coming for you guys after the Super Bowl. So quick rundown. Obviously, Sunday we have a reaction vid right after the Super Bowl. We will be here. I don't yammer as much as some of the other guys after the games happen. I just give you quick not as much as I'm yammering now. So we'll give you a quick insight what happened Monday. We're gonna have a film review of the Super Bowl, and then after that, some fun stuff in which we look at teams in the offseason and what they should do. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned with Lumia NFL as the season continues to go on. And for Darnell Jones, this was Lumia. Hope you enjoyed.
Later.
Oh, and
Deuces.
shout out real quick. Shout out. We didn't even talk Miles Garrett. Shout out the Browns, man.
Oh,
Uh,
shout out to Miles.
shout
Shout out
out
to
Miles.
Miles.
Shout out Schlesinger, defensive rookie of the
Parsons, Schwessinger.
year. Yeah,
And one thing we were mentioning Keekly, right? Somebody who Schwessinger reminded me of coming into the year
he
as a
does.
rookie.
He honest. He plays just freaking like him.
Yeah,
Maybe not as cerebral yet, but like as explosive and like he's disruptive. If
he's
you
very
watch the
cerebral.
Browns play, it's like it's Garrett and then it's Schlesinger.
And I say in a mixture of Denzel, but Schwessinger is
Yeah, Denzel they just
cerebral,
don't throw
and
at.
you
They just try to throw at
and
the
you
other
got to
guy.
think for him to be the green dot as a rookie,
That is
he's
crazy.
cerebral, bro. And yeah, like we just lost. He just lost. Dang, I forgot his name. That fast. Our linebacker from last year. He got hurt against the Ravens. Dang, I forgot his name.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't remember any other linebacker to be honest on that team, but Schlesinger.
Owusu Kormola. JOK.
Oh, JOK, yeah, okay, I know.
Yeah.
I with Schlesinger too. The crazy part is, some games because Miles is getting doubled, it really would be him, or it would be like
Mm-hmm.
him starting it, and
Yeah.
then a team would realize, crap, we can't throw this because he's probably going to pick it off. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you got to hold that ball the extra tick, the Ravens game comes to mind. Lamar's like, I got to
Yeah.
get rid of it, got to get rid of it. Then Schlesinger got a turnover. And he's like, well, now I got to hold on the ball. And then Miles Garrett just absolutely just destroyed him because Schlesinger's flying around back there.
Mm-hmm.
And Shador told you, man, he knows he's going to be elite in this league.
Man, do your thing.
He said,
Do
"Yeah,
your
I
thing.
ain't out here playing flag football with these guys. I gotta tell you, no one's better than me."
I can dominate in this league. I've proved it. I've showed it. I can dominate this league. There you go.
You got him and a 60-year-old head coach. Is Jim Swartz staying with the Browns, or is he just pissed?
He's still under contract, and he's upset he didn't get the head coaching job, which is
Yeah,
understandable.
for
But
sure.
yeah, and it's all of the other head coaching jobs have been filled. He's not really in position to do anything now.
Yeah,
Defensive coordinator jobs. If Vic Fangio would have retired, the Philadelphia job would have been something to watch out for. But Fangio staying, he's staying with the Browns, bro.
good. I'm happy.
For at
I'm
least
happy
another
that
year.
Swartz is staying.
For at least another year.
Yeah, I like the Browns defense. They're fun to watch. Fun to watch. Hey
Great.
man, thank you guys so much for. Happy we got some Browns talk in there. Might as well get some Eagles talk in while we're here. This is a mess. And
Yeah, y'all lost y'all run game coordinator. What's up with that, man? Dude just retired.
run game coordinator. It's bigger than that, Nell.
It's the offensive line coach. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's
the
a.
guy,
Well, I
man.
mean, our run game was trash last year, but I think what happened was they didn't. They said they didn't let him run the run game how we wanted to. Stoutland,
No. So what I've heard about Stoutland is that Sirianni and Patullo essentially took the role from him of run game of designing the run game, and they kind of did their own thing, and we saw what happened from it. And he was very upset about it, and he
I was
decided to
upset
step
about it
away.
too. I wish I'd have known.
Yeah. So he
Like how
decided to
upset.
step away from the team, and as a result, you're seeing that. I think it's who is it? Somebody is projected to possibly not return for the offensive line. I'm sure. I saw that this morning.
Don't remember. Is it Lane?
I think it's Lane, but something's telling me it wasn't Lane.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Lane can retire. He just took up $30 million of cap to never play. I love
So
Lane, but he didn't play last year. It's not helpful for
we
anything.
were so breaking news from Adam Schefter. Jim Schwartz sent the Browns a resignation letter this morning. He is now likely to sit out this season,
Yeah, that's what I figured.
as of 2 minutes ago.
Man, look, he's like, you hired Munkin? You hired the monkey man over me? I'm right here. I'm not gonna coach for another old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is I honestly, that was the biggest thing about that decision. I was like, you better make sure Jim Schwartz is good with this. How are you taking the news now?
So back to the Eagles real quick. It was Lane Johnson. It was Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson could possibly both retire this offseason.
Landon
As
Dickerson.
of yeah,
Boy, this is a pretty. Hey, look, man. Yo, man. Hey, no. You could.
mm-hmm.
We're about possibly 8 9 months away from you never being more right about a take. Probably 12 to fully watch it, marinate.
Yeah,
But like, if Sirianni single handedly just rips apart this entire team, which is slowly happening. Um, AJ Brown and now the offensive line and the D coordinator's like, I mean, I'm thinking about it. You
yeah,
know, that's not great. Um, yeah, I got no defense. And also the other problem with this too, with
mm-hmm.
Sean Mannion has now come over and he's now hired his
Yeah,
own offensive line coach. Fine, cool.
mm-hmm.
That's great. He's also a 33-year-old offensive coordinator who, if he has success and takes the Eagles to where they kind of I don't want to say should, but have the talent to be the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we now have an offensive coordinator who now can hire his own staff, who is 34, who can call these plays, who can win with a quarterback that we think isn't that good, and with a coach that we think isn't that good. Well, all right. Well, we're just gonna hire him then.
Yeah,
I'm really. I,
and
I think we're nearing the end of the line here, and I love Sirianni, but if you can't literally do anything, well,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt. I didn't know this back in the '60s.
mm-hmm.
Vince Lombardi was calling his own plays. Bill Walsh was calling his own plays. Belichick
Yeah,
called his own defense. I mean, Parcells was involved in the offense, but he had
mm-hmm.
Belichick there. Um, I, I, yikes. Tony Dungy was
Yeah,
calling his own defenses. This is
mm-hmm.
not. You have to be able to do. To you don't have to be able to do anything. You do need to be able to help with something. And
If
at the same,
something goes wrong with a coordinator, right?
yeah,
You need to have the ability as a head coach to be able to step in, take over whatever side of the ball you specialize in,
didn't know
right?
this. Didn't know that he had the capability. Dan Campbell did it. It was like,
He's a
I'll put on
defensive
my
guy.
I'll put on my specs and call some plays real quick, and I'll
And
fix
like
this
like
for
you
you.
remember, you can even go back to New England with Belichick when he decided it was a dumb move. Dumb move. Didn't work. But Matt
Yeah,
McCourt's called offense.
yeah, yeah. That was silly.
Yeah, that was silly. But
It happens. Sirianni hasn't. I mean, he might as well have said that with Brian Johnson. Batul, I'm not gonna lie. Same freaking difference. Offense is
yeah,
trash.
that's bad.
Um. So I mean, hey, look, Nell has been very much that Sirianni is a clown. Am I
Yes.
am I okay? I just wanted to make sure I wasn't. Uh. You know what I mean? Saying anything you didn't believe. So, I mean,
Yeah, and
if I'm trying to give you credit for the team winning Super Bowl and you being like a chemistry guy, if the chemistry is like eroding fast,
mhm,
or the chemistry is gone right now, gone. And if the remnants of that is still eroding with people are want to retire all over the
mhm,
place, all over the place. One guy already did retire. Your offensive line's talking about it. And your defensive coordinator's thinking about it.
yeah.
So, uh, not ideal.
One quick one quick point on Jim Schwartz. There for in the introductory press conference for Todd Monken, he was asked about Jim Schwartz, and he said, "I didn't take this job because it's Jim Schwartz." And at that moment, I kind of knew, like, yeah, he's probably not for long. Like, Schwartz is gone. Like, thanks, guy. Like, I get it, but like, dog, at least be a little PC right there. But I'm
Oh, like,
unfortunate to lose him. He resurrected our defense, brought us back, and didn't really. I mean, there was a lot of times we got cooked this year, but great defensive mind, older guy.
partially
Probably should
got
have.
cooked because the offense was 32nd in passing yards and couldn't move the ball. And Dylan Gabriel was out there not doing anything.
Yeah, I agree, but and it's just like, who are you gonna get now? Gosh, they're just a mess, man.
Bro,
A
just,
mess.
yo. So everyone, when they join the Browns, just immediately becomes a dickhead. Is that what? Like, why did he say that? There's
I have
no
no
reason.
idea. What was the point?
There
Nothing.
is no. You could have just been like, I got the offense, you got the defense. Mm. I love Jim Schwartz. This is what I would say. I love Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz
Yes.
is one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. He helped us get Myles Garrett the most sacks of all time. Schlesinger's a great player. I love what they do on that side of the ball. And I just hope that me and Jim Schwartz can really have a great working relationship and try to turn this franchise around. Now, I will say if I had been hired by the Browns, they would have already poisoned me and I wouldn't have been able to make that statement. But that's what I would have said outside of if I was coming into the Browns. Something's clearly in the water. Like Stefanski suddenly knows how to speak again and like be calm. You know what I mean? With Cleveland, he was
Yeah.
very reckless. He was very much I am in charge here because I got to answer to this idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about. And Monken just was like, I fleeced this guy into a job. What do I care about Jim Schwartz? I don't give a crap. I didn't take this job because of Jim Schwartz. I took it because I'm 60 and no one else was going to give me the job. That's why you took the
Yeah.
job. That's
Yeah.
why you took. No, you didn't take it for Jim Schwartz. You took it because it was the only head coaching job you're ever gonna get. Respectfully, you know what I mean. I can't even say you earned it.
I have
You
the
have to be
audio.
with Lamar, but you know whatever.
What can you say to these players, or how confident are you
Can you hear it?
that
Yeah,
these players are going to like the direction that you're going to be able to go on defense, and we can be able to maintain the incredibly high standards of the defense, even if Jim doesn't come back? First off, my anticipation is we're not going to change the system. Very difficult to go against. Not planning on changing the system. We're built for the system that they're in currently. And I'm not going to get into staffing because that's not at this time to get into that. They can be rest assured that we're going to keep the same system. We're still going to let them attack. We're still going to let them play free. Can't see the other way. There are a few reasons why I took this job. But the defensive players, I didn't take this job because of Jim Schwartz. I have a lot of respect for Jim Schwartz. But as I go for me, I take it because of the players that are here, the ownership, Andrew Barry, but killed the frogs from the ground up on the offensive side. So, and I said this to the guys. I didn't think I'd say it, but I'm going to say it. When I was preparing for the Cleveland Browns, I wasn't trying to chip Jim Schwartz. I was chipping him out. And when I was sliding in protection to the outside backwards or blitzing off the edge, I was sliding in protection players. When I was worried about throwing to the right against Denzel Ward or Tyson Campbell to the left,
Yo,
That's what I was worried about.
why?
That's listening to that
Why?
in
Why did he
full
keep going
totality.
in,
That
bro?
was way worse than I initially
That's
thought.
a
Way
lot
worse.
worse than I.
Way
Why did he
worse.
keep going? He just kept talking about him. Bro, he
Yikes.
might as well have said, "Sorry, mom, I gotta let one rip," because that just made me mad. He might as well have said, "Yeah, Jim Schwartz ain't shit. Jim Schwartz doesn't do anything. I'm more worried. I'm worried about
Basically.
Myles Garrett, but Jim Schwartz, that was easy. We were cooking them, bro.
Yo.
Lamar looked like crap against the Browns. We watched the game. We watched your offense against Jim Schwartz defense, and you had the MVP. Now they had defensive player of the year, but you had the two-time MVP and another Hall of Fame running back, and you looked bad. You don't have that here. No,
He said, I slid protection over to Myles Garrett, not Jim Schwartz. That's bad, bro. That's crazy. That's
no.
crazy.
I
Yo.
are we I Todd Monken has been around football for 40 years or something. I'm
Yes.
guessing, right? All
Mm-hmm.
that aside. I'm really getting concerned the older I get and how much I try to just go and continue to learn things and how life works and how people work. Are we
Yeah.
actually just smarter than these guys? I think I'll just put it like this. Not smarter, but definitely from an EQ standpoint. And I think that some of their intelligence, Sean Payton fired his offensive coordinator. Why?
Or Sean Payton, there's a lot. What I'll say is they're football guys that are so entrenched in football that a lot of other things that are common sense are not that common.
That's what I'm
Like
saying. Because I don't want to
if
say that
you're
we're
Sean,
smarter.
yeah,
They study
Sean Payton,
football 14 hours a day.
exactly.
So I don't
Like
want to.
Sean Payton, for example, in the press conference, why did you volunteer the information that Bo Nix's ankle was already broken, right?
Our
Causing this
quarterback,
rift
he's got ankle
between.
problems.
It's like, oh no, it wasn't anything that happened that game. No, it ain't been like that already.
Bound to happen is what he said.
Yeah.
And Sean Payton has always been like that. But like Monken, bro, there's no way I'm walking into a situation and I'm like, because it's like, this is what boggles my mind. And this is where I do have to say, like, am I just smarter than this guy? Even from just a football perspective. Okay, we want to run our system. Who's going to run the system? Who's going to tell them how to play the system? You want Myles Garrett to tell everyone, all right, guys, this is what I know I'm getting double teamed, or you want the 2-year Schlesinger to be like, all right, guys, I know I've been here for 1 year, but this is where you're all supposed to be. Calling the plays is one thing. Telling them how to run the system while you have to deal with the offense and Shador Sanders and your no weapons and your no Derrick Henry. I mean, Judkin's really good. We don't even know if he's going to be healthy. And then
He will be.
And now you're gonna have to hire someone, which you've never done before, to be a defensive coordinator, which you've never hired a defensive coordinator before, to now run a system that was the strength of the team. And if you get someone you don't like, I hate to go here. Myles Garrett might be like, all right, so I'm not going to have like Myles Garrett probably wasn't going to re-break the record, but you could assume Myles Garrett was going to get 17, 18 sacks. Let's say they bring in a new system and Garrett gets 11
So this is
or
what I'll say.
12, right? Like,
Ian Rappaport said, with hopes of keeping the system together for their talented group, the Browns may look at a couple of assistants on the staff of Jim Schwartz, Disciple, Matt Burke, Dino Vasso, and Corey Undillin. I have no idea who any of those three are for the record, but that's where they currently are reporting at least that. They're trying to keep at least his staff and just make the position guys, I guess. Right.
you ever heard of brain rot now?
Yes.
I'm making Browns rot. That's what I'm calling whenever we try to think of the philosophy of the Browns. It's just Browns rot. What does that mean?
If you like, well, as a Browns fan, the I say that, and I don't even know if I really mean it half the time.
The
I
Browns
under,
fan part.
I understand
Wait, which part did you not
which
mean?
the
We need
Browns
clarify.
fan part,
Okay,
the
got
Browns
you.
fan part.
I just
Yes,
wanted to check. That's what I thought. I just
yes,
wanted to make sure for people who.
but
I
I
feel you. I can't blame you. This is
I
ridiculous. What are
under
they doing?
so you're finally starting to see where sometimes I'm like, dude, I just can't with this team. Like, I just can't, and that's just the reality of being a Browns fan.
It's funny. It's because it's like I've always understood that. Like I know that the Browns just suck in
Mm-hmm.
general because of how badly run they are. But yes, to your point, the more that I'm starting to pay attention, this is the first year where I'm really delving in to offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator hires, coaching
Mm-hmm.
hires. What decisions are you making in the offseason? All of that.
Yeah,
Yes, the Browns are ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. Even if you want to fire Stefanski, fine. If
yeah,
any and I there's any chance I'm losing Jim Schwartz, I'm probably going to at least run the decisions by him. I think Jim Schwartz is that important to what they did. And they weren't great last year, but to what they could build, I think if you keep Jim Schwartz and add maybe a because I don't want to say Stefan's a bad offensive mind, but a different offensive mind with some new stuff who hasn't been stuck under Jimmy Haslam for 6 years at this point and can bring in some
yeah,
new fresh ideas because he hasn't been Browns rotted. And Jim Schwartz would have been, I think, his second or third year, right, with the team. So
yeah.
he also
Third,
wouldn't have
maybe at
been
least third or
Browns
fourth.
third or fourth. He still also wouldn't have been Browns rotted. And you're just like, you could build something there. But
Well,
now
they
you're going to
interviewed him.
just
They interviewed him for the job. That's why essentially he's upset because he got 2 interviews and you give it to Todd Monken,
they
60-year-old.
They interviewed him twice.
Yes, he got 2 interviews. Todd Monken gets the job as someone who's never coached as a head coach before. Like, how would you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Yeah, man. If the Browns interview me twice and then they say, all right, here's Todd Monken. He just had an interview saying that he doesn't respect you. And you're still going to get the opportunity to be defensive coordinator for the Browns, even though, you know what I mean, you just helped them that one of their players get a record in sacks and another one of their players is defensive rookie of the year. This is actually a reason why I didn't record my Browns I don't even know if I'll have enough time to do all the videos, so I don't want to spoil it because I don't know if I'm even going to do a Browns free agent video because this is just maybe for laughs.
it's too much, too much,
It
too
is a
much to say.
lot though. It's a lot of mess. And the reason I didn't do it was because I was doing some of the recordings. I thought it would take a little quicker, so not going to be able to do as many. But one of the reasons I didn't do it is because I was like, a big component of this is will Jim Schwartz stay? I was like, I
Yeah,
can't really do this video until I know if Schwartz is going to stay. And he's not.
there you have.
And
No,
so, like, what is, you want to ask what's going on, but it's the Browns. So you know what's going on. It's Browns rot.
and I'm sure they're going to dominate the headlines all off season. So this is
Oh, yeah,
not going
they're
to be.
ready. I mean, Shador is going to dominate the NFL next year, Nell. You
Yes.
already, you already know it, bro. He's going to dominate the league with 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions.
My sports fandom journey this season or this year,
This
it's
is,
very, very, very upsetting. I wouldn't say very, very upsetting, but
yeah. I mean, no, it's
it's
cool. You got
very, very weird. And it's all over the place,
Are you
man. It's
locking
just
in for
all
this
over the
James
place.
Harden playoff run where you can watch the Cavs in Game 6 with James Harden with 3 points and 1 for 11 as you
I
guys
have to
lose by
root
5 points
for
because Donovan
James
Mitchell has 40 points but can't play any defense?
Harden. I have to root for James Harden, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Like, come on, man. What are
Gave up
y'all
a
doing to
fan
me out
favorite
here?
too for James Harden. Hate to see that.
Craziness,
That's
craziness.
yeah, it doesn't really
But
get much worse.
I digress. I
Yeah,
digress.
let's. All right, we're actually gonna end it. Appreciate you guys listening. I'm happy we got you guys some bonus Browns rot. I don't
Yes,
blame you
sir.
now. If there's ever a team where you can just be like, yeah, I'm actually just not rooting for this team. I think the Browns, maybe not now, right?
Yeah.
But maybe like post Shador, Miles Garrett. Just get out of there, dude. Because then you won't even have them anymore. You're just gonna have Schlesinger
No,
and a bunch of guys.
it's hard, bro. It's hard. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's
Like what?
hard, man.
Like what are they doing, dude? It's like if you put into AI, how can I ruin a franchise? I don't think they're gonna give you answers as good as the Browns do
No,
structurally.
no.
I'm waiting for them to fire. I'm waiting for Andrew Berry to hit on 3 draft picks and then for them to fire him after Todd Monken goes 3 for 14. And then the Garrett to be like, oh, I only got 12 sacks, so can you trade me, please? Because you just got rid of the guy who helped me get the record. Because I mean, at least and then Todd Monken's probably gonna get fired. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. I think Todd Monken's about to get fired. I think that Miles is about to get traded, and I think Barry's gonna go with him. And I think the Browns are gonna be in reset mode. I think I actually if I didn't hear those quotes and if I
Yeah.
didn't know his mentality heading into this job, the
Mhm.
arrogance, the like, I'll be fine because I was fine with Lamar Jackson. And if you
But
don't
if
know this,
you know his history, he's been in the league for a while. He's
I
not.
was going to say before he coached there, he coached in college. He got to coach
He
Brock
coached at
Bowers
Georgia.
and Lad McConkey to 2 national championships. That's
Do
not
you
the
know where?
Browns,
Do
dude.
you know where he coached before that?
I don't.
So, little tidbit on his history.
Oh
He
boy.
is the offensive coordinator, former offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guess which era? The Jameis Winston 5,000 bomb it away years. Those
That's
were Todd Monken. Yes.
wow.
Yeah. So there you go.
Shador is ready. He's ready to dominate the league, throw 40 touchdowns and 40 picks.
Yeah.
Shador,
So if
I've never
Shador
seen
somehow
anything.
turns into Jameis Winston, then you know why.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, hey, look, man, he slings it. But appreciate you guys listening, man. We love these live
Mhm.
reactions. We get to have more of a radio feel with you guys. We're gonna do more of them throughout the off season. I don't know. No, you probably can't join for after Super Bowl. You'll probably be partying.
Yeah, I'll probably. Yeah, I'm not partying for the Super Bowl. These ain't my teams. Like,
But I'm guessing
no.
people will be out and about with people not wanting to record. Uh,
I'll record. I ain't tripping.
you're gonna record, but wait,
I'll
well, I'll throw
record.
the invite.
I
I'll
ain't.
throw the invite over to you and Sleepyhead, and we'll see if we can. Tony might show up. For those who don't know, Tony showed up for 2 minutes before, and he's like, "I'm gonna leave." By the way,
It's
before
like,
you
yeah, I got
guys,
stuff to do, but I'm about
why
to
are
just
you
chill for a
here,
couple
bro? Like, what?
minutes.
He's like, first he said I didn't get the invite. I'm like, what do you? You didn't
Shout out to
answer. I
LT
kept
Gray.
asking for a time and he didn't answer. And then he was like, I gotta leave real quick. But I just wanted to you didn't even set up the dog. All right. Anyway, we're out. Appreciate you guys listening. For Nell and Loom. Catch you on the flip side.
Deuces.